Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and yes, I'm recording this from my phone for a couple reasons. For starters, I was doing some housework and my background isn't looking the best right now. But the other reason obviously is I do want to hit this out as quickly as possible because as I do have other stuff I also have to do as well. This is gonna be a quick phone video for you guys. But nevertheless, to quote the great Kirk Franklin, get ready for the revolution. It's AEW Revolution time. So this is my official predictions for AEW Revolution. So quite a few matches on the card here. 11 matches, technically 9 because 2 are going to be on the pre-show. If you've seen these predictions of mine, you kind of know how this works pretty much. But if you haven't, I'm going to be going through the card. All right, and this is just, of course, it's just the order they're listed here on the wiki. Doesn't mean this will be the official order. This may or may not be the official order that, the match take place. It's right before showtime. It's a few hours before showtime, but this is the card at time recordings. It's about almost 4:30 on Sunday. So this is the official card. I don't think we're gonna add any matches because it's so close to it, but it hasn't stopped them before. But so far we're treating this as if this is gonna be the official card. Right, so we have two tag matches on the pre-show. The first is a 12-man tag team match. It's a big one as the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, and that being Max Caster, Platinum Max, Anthony Bowens, his daddy ass Billy Gunn, and the Ass Boys of Austin and Colton Gunn, as well as Switchblade Jay White, will take on Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, Willie Mack, and oh my God, is that Private Party of Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, and of course they are going to be accompanied by Sanjay Dutt and Karen Jarrett. So I guess Private Party are officially heels now. Admittedly, I haven't watched every single episode of Dynamite, but it looks like they might be heels now. Especially because last night on Collision, Private Party was taking on Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels, and they got some help from Jeff Jarrett and company to put away Daniels and Sydal. So I guess Private Party are back to being heels now. Speaking of which, looks like the Acclaim may or may not turn heel. Of course, they've been associating with Bullet Club Gold, which begat the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, and also Max not able to rap. I guess they turned the supposed botch of him not getting his rap out last week. I guess that's now a running angle, but I've also seen like Max disrespecting Sting on social media, so heels turn for the Acclaim perhaps. Honestly, in my opinion, the Acclaimed are better as heels, but that's more so just me. But as for who's winning this one, I think it might go to the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. But people have brought up that the World Trios Championships, the AEW World Trios Championships, haven't been defended on pay-per-view since Double or Nothing in the last year, which that is criminal. I am surprised about that, but I'm surprised but not surprised because, you know, the Acclaimed usually end up on the pre-show, but come on, bring the World Trios Championships back to the main show. But the other tag team match we have is that Julia Hart and Sky Blue will be taking on Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. So, of course, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, their associates, Sky Blue turned heel. And, of course, there's some history, not just with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, but also with Willow Nightingale. At first, it was Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale going against Julia Hart, but now, with Sky Blue turned Willow Nightingale, now looking for some revenge. And who do I think is going to go towards? I think it might go to, I think this one will probably go to, I'll go with Julia Hart and Sky Blue on this one, and I'm glad that Julia Hart, because I heard she was injured, so I guess she's over injury, which is definitely good news. But yeah, so I think this one gonna go to Julia Hart and Sky Blue. But also interesting that the TBS Championship isn't on the line. But next up is the Meat Madness match. the All-Star Scramble match. So yes, this was supposed to be the Meat Madness match originally, but apparently two of the people who were supposed to be in it, that being Miro and Keith Lee, will not be in the match. So instead, let's just put in 5 other guys and just do a scramble match. Like, honestly, you probably could have still had the Meat Madness match between Lance Archer, her Powerhouse Hobbs, and Brian Cage, but or not Brian Cage, but Wardlow, but nope. Now we gotta get 5 other guys in there, as it's gonna be Chris Jericho, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, and Dante Martin. So, like I said, it was originally Hobbs, Wardlow, and Lance Archer, but then Hook, Brian Cage, and Chris Jericho got added, and then 2 spots were left open. So we had a one-on-one match, I believe, either on Dynamite or on Rampage, and then yesterday a triple threat. So Magnus won the one-on-one, and then Dante Martin won the triple threat at last night on Collision. So so both those men got added, and the winner will receive a future AEW World Championship match. So I think this one might go towards Wardlow. Wardlow cut a hell of a promo on Collision, and if you haven't been able to tell already, yes, I watched last night's episode of Collision, but Wardlow cut a hell of a promo, talking about being overlooked and how he's hungry and how he wants, how he's gonna take on. He's guaranteeing he's gonna win the match and take on one of the 3 men potentially who could walk out as AEW World Champion. Who they are, we will find out. But as for this match, I think Wardlow is going to pick up the win here. Of course, Adam Cole has tasked the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom. He's given them different tasks. As Roderick Strong is supposed to be going after the International Championship, and we will get to that. He's tasked them with that. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are, of course, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. But Wardlow, he's tasked with not only winning the AEW World Championship, but then delivering it, handing it to Adam Cole. Will it happen? And will Wardlow actually hand the title to Adam Cole? We'll find out. But yeah, so I think Wardlow's going to win this match. But next up is tag team action. And as FTR will take on, FTR, that of course being Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, will take on the Blackpool Combat Club, that being Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. So these 2 teams have kind of been going at it. They even had a tag team match, I think a couple weeks ago on Dynamite, and I think that one ended in a no contest. But they've been going back and forth. So as for who's gonna win this one, call me crazy. I think I might go with Blackpool Combat Club on this one. And FTR, it would be cool. And who knows, it might lead to FTR or perhaps versus a team that's going to be fighting for the tag titles later on in Revolution, which we'll get to. But something tells me to go with the Blackpool Combat Club, but we will see. Here. So it will be an interesting match, but actually, no, you know what? I'm going to go with FTR on this one. I'm going to go with FTR on this one. But then next up, for the AEW TNT Championship, Christian Cage, who's going to be flanked by Killswitch, Mother Wayne, and the Prodigy Nick Wayne, will be defending against Daniel Garcia. These 2 have been going at it, especially Christian Cage bringing up Daniel Garcia's deceased father, which natural for Christian Cage at this point. But who's going to pick up the win here? It would be cool to see Danny Garcia picking up the win. He's definitely been putting in the work, and I promise I'm not biased because he's also a Buffalo kid, just like me. But while it would be cool, I think Christian Cage is going to drop it definitively to Adam Copeland. I don't think they're going to put it on Daniel Garcia just yet, although that would be pretty cool. I think it's going to stay on Christian Cage, and I think Christian Cage is going to drop it to Adam Copeland. But while it would be cool, I think I will go with Christian Cage on this one. But then next up for the AEW International Championship, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy seeks to defend the AEW International Championship against Roddy Strong, who's going to be flanked by is going to be flanked by the Kingdom, that being Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. So, as I mentioned a few moments ago, Roddy Strong has been tasked with taking the International Championship from Orange Cassidy, which, as we've seen with Orange Cassidy's track record, especially when it comes to the International Championship, that is definitely easier said than done. But I think I'm gonna go with Roddy Strong. I think we'll go with Roderick Strong on this one. On Orange Cassidy, for starters, this reign as International Champion, not quite hitting like the other one, but also this could help bring some legitimacy to the Undisputed Kingdom, because sadly they've kind of been struggling with that, at least to a lot of people. Also, I think this could could bolster up their legitimacy within AEW. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Roderick Strong on this one. But sure to be an interesting match nevertheless. But then next up, Will Ospreay will officially make will officially have his first match as an official AEW superstar, as he takes on fellow Don Callis family member Konosuke Takeshita. And really, Will Ospreay's kind of more of an associate of the Don Callis family. I don't necessarily know if he's classified as a full-on member, but I'd definitely an associate, at least, of the Don Callis family. Meanwhile, Konosuke Takeshita is very much a member of the Don Callis family. But the story here is that is Don Callis family versus Don Callis family. What type of implications will this spell for the family? He will find out. But this one, I think, will go towards Will Ospreay. I doubt they're gonna have him lose his first match in the company. If he loses his first match in the company, that definitely wouldn't be a good sign. Although, sometimes you lose your first match. You know, John Cena, Rey Mysterio lost their first matches in WWE, but Will Ospreay, I don't think is going to lose here. I think he's beating Konosuke Takeshita. But then next up, for the Continental Crown Championship, with another special stipulation, and of course the Continental Crown Championship is the triple championships, that being the AEW Continental Championship, the Ring of Honor World Championship, and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. Eddie Kingston will be defending against Bryan Danielson, but if Bryan Danielson loses, he has to shake Eddie Kingston's hand. So, this feud is essentially about respect. And the fact that Bryan Danielson doesn't respect Eddie Kingston. He's called Eddie Kingston the King of the Bums, which Eddie Kingston has embraced. No, Eddie, you don't embrace that nickname. But Eddie Kingston, he says he is happy to be King of the Bums, like king of the guys who really have to work to get where they are. And so, but Danielson does not respect Kingston, so Eddie gonna try to beat some respect out of him, which is interesting. That's almost the same type of feud and dynamic he's had with Claudio Castagnoli. And they're able to get away with it, kind of. But I think it's kind of obvious, just based off that stipulation, and that Eddie Kingston is probably going to end up winning here, especially with Eddie Kingston having just won these championships. At the last pay-per-view, that being World's End, which it's kind of weird that he's still walking around with the championships. Like, even if he's Continental Crown Champion, why does he still have the other two championships? Why not just have him have the Continental Championship? Why not just call that the Triple Crown Championship? But nevertheless, as Eddie Kingston is still walking around with three, in a move I'm sure will make Roman Reigns blush. But yeah, so I think Eddie Kingston's going to win here. I think he's going to earn Bryan Danielson's respect. But then next up for the AEW Women's World Championship, timeless Toni Storm, who is going to be accompanied by Mariah May and Luther, will be defending against Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa. Make the match in black and white, you cowards. Come on, give us what we want. Come on, just give us what we want. Give us the match in black and white. If you give us the match in black and white, totally in black and white, I promise I'll stop asking about it. But And nevertheless, as they've been feuding, and they've been feuding pretty much since Deonna Purrazzo came into AEW, which is pretty cool that Deonna debuted for AEW and almost like right away went after the AEW Women's World Championship, but will she win it here? Or I'm not sure. I think this might go to Toni Storm. Although it should be an interesting match, but a lot of people speculated if Jamie Hayter will appear here. Of course, Jamie Hayter was AEW Women's World Champion, had to lost it to Toni Storm, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, lost it to Toni Storm when she got injured and everything. So will Jamie Hayter appear? Will she try to take back her AEW Women's World Championship? And will either of them get the shoe? We will find out. But next up, in a three-way for the AEW World Championship, Samoa Joe will be defending against Hangman Adam Page and whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve Strickland, of course, who's going to be accompanied by Prince Nana and his hilarious dances. So, of course, Hangman and Swerve have been having their issues. Because Hangman not able to beat Swerve and Samoa Joe kind of caught in the middle, but almost kind of bordering on afterthought, but of course he's still whole champ and everything, but of course, Hangman and Page we thought was injured, but was a ruse, who's used to get inside Swerve Strickland's head, at which I told you made Samoa Joe almost kind of an afterthought. But nevertheless, they're going to be doing battle here. Who I think is walking out. As Swerve wants to make history, he wants to be the first black AEW World Champion. Which, if there's any representative for the AEW World Champion to be the first black AEW World Champion, and Swerve would definitely be a really good choice. He's over as hell with the crowd, not just with Prince Nana's dancing, but with his catchphrase and his ability in the ring, and his promo ability. But nevertheless, at the same time, Samoa Joe just won it not too long ago at World's End. But I think I'm gonna go with my guy. I think I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe here. I don't think they're gonna take it off him just yet, especially with Wardlow lurking in the background. It would be cool for Swerve to win. In fact, if Swerve won, I wouldn't be upset by it. But I think Samoa Joe's gonna win here. But then, last but certainly not least, he's in his final match in the company, and even just in general. Well, in his official retirement match, Sting will be teaming with Darby Allin to defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Young Bucks. Not Matt and Nick Jackson, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the EVPs. So, the Young Bucks have turned heel. They've beat down Sting and Darby Allin, and I think they're still walking around with the blood-soaked suits from when they busted Sting and Darby open. And after Sting and Darby beat Ricky Starks and Big Bill for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. So the Young Bucks have fully embraced their heel nature, fully embraced being the EVPs of AEW, even renamed the Meltzer driver to the Tony Khan driver. It is interesting there how they've kind of, because people stemming from what happened between them and CM Punk and everything. And so, slowly the Young Bucks starting to slowly fall out of favor with the audience. And it's interesting that they've kind of embraced that. But as for this one, as much as I'm sure, here's the thing. On one hand, and theoretically, you wouldn't want Sting to lose his retirement match, but at the same time, with the AEW World Tag Team Championships, with Sting retiring, he's not defending them anyway, so what would be the point of holding on to them? So I think for this one, I'm going to go with the Young Bucks, but he'll hoping for a really solid match, and apparently has been confirmed that this is main eventing, which does make sense. This is not just Sting's last match. It makes sense because of it being Sting and everything, but that's kind of what the show's being built around, to the point where he's on the poster, and that's the tagline, is Sting's last match, and it's in the Greensboro Coliseum in North Carolina, one of the places where Sting definitely made his name. But anyway, yeah, and it even shows in the wiki here, of course. First, it says, as March 3rd, 2024, which is obviously today, at the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, the same venue in which Sting famously faced Ric Flair at Clash of the Champions 1 in March 1988, which was produced by the National Wrestling Alliance's Jim Crockett Promotions, and of course, all the history with Sting and Ric Flair, and Ric Flair's going to be in the corner of Sting. Will he turn on him, just like everybody else has? We will see, but yeah, I think we'll go with the Young Bucks on that one. But shaping up to be a very interesting show, and a lot of people are saying this might be top down, even without having seen the show, one of like the best put together AEW shows, and I kind of have to agree. Like, hey, I'm definitely excited to see where this goes. As for my predictions on what will be the strongest and weakest match of the night, I think the strongest definitely will be the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It was either that or the AEW World Championship match. It's just off the sheer magnitude of both of those and its story implications. And for the weakest, probably just by probably, maybe just by association, probably the TNT Championship match. That doesn't say, not necessarily because it'll be a bad match, just compared to everything else. But and maybe the All-Star Scramble match, although those 8 dudes going at it, we still get some meat in there, but otherwise, yeah, I don't think there's really gonna be a bad match on the card. Just more so a match that's not as good as the others. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for these predictions. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on post notifications. And what do you guys think will be the strongest and weakest match of the night? Are you excited for AEW Revolution? Who do you think is walking out victorious in each of these matches? Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.